Morning. Today we're gonna discuss the types of companies. Type of company. Under that, we can mainly categorize under the companies limited by shares, companies limited by guarantee, and the unlimited companies. So limited by shares, we can divide into private company and public company. Public also listed, which is listed in Colombo Stock Exchange, or it is unlisted, right? Note, the term limited in here we call as a limited by shares, right? Limited by whom? Shares, right? The term limited should be understood from the point of view of shareholder. This is very much important from the point of view of the shareholders and not from the point of view of any other, view of the company. A company has an unlimited liability for its debts, unlimited liability for its debts. Shareholders' liability is limited. That is why we call as a limited company. Don't misunderstand. Liability of company is not limited, right? The shareholders' liability is limited. So you want to keep remember that, right? The creditors can recover their money from existing asset of the company, and the company has an unlimited liability to pay its debts. However, creditors cannot recover their money from the personal asset of the shareholders. Therefore, limited means in the event of liquidation or the winding up of the company, the shareholders may lose only the money that they have invested in the company and no more. කියලා කියනවා. According to the section 3 of the Companies Act, a company issues shares if the holders of which have an liability to contribute to the asset of the company specified in the articles attaching to those shares referred as a limited company. A company issues shares. It is issuing shares of the holders of which have any liability to contribute to the assets of the company specified in the articles of association or memorandum attaching to those shares referred as a limited company, right? A company issues shares to the holders of which have unlimited liability to and contribute the asset of the company under the articles. When it is come to the event of liquidation, the liabilities unlimited of the shareholders we simply called as a unlimited company. A company does not issue shares. The members which are undertake to the contribute to the asset of the company when the event of liquidation, the company each amount is specified in the article of association or the constitution, which called as a company is limited by guarantee. The Colombo Stock Exchange, the best example for companies limited by guarantee. So with that, we can move further. Therefore, there are three main types of companies: limited, unlimited, or companies limited by guarantee. Limited in the sense, this refers to the company limited by shares. Such a company may be either private or public company. So in here also this classification, limited in the sense it can be either of public or the private. Here it is clearly mentioned, right? In here, you can see here. I think it's visible. Right. Unlimited companies and the companies limited by guarantee. Now we're gonna discuss each by each in more detailed manner. Private companies as per the section 27. Private companies. Articles of a private company shall include the provision which the prohibit for the companies offering shares to the public. Offering shares, it is prohibited to offer shares to in general public. It is prohibited by the Companies Act. Limit the number of shares is to 50. Maximum number of shareholders should be maximum. It is 50, right? Maximum it is 50. Excluding shareholders who are employees, if the such shareholder is currently being an employer, former past employee who become shareholders while they are being in the employment and continue to be shareholders even after the termination of their employment. After the terminate also we deemed as a former employee. It does not include into the calculation of the upper ceiling of 50 shareholders. Characteristic of a private company. Here are the significant characteristic which is pertain to the private company. It cannot offer shares to the public. It cannot offer shares to the public. It can be maximum 50 members. There should be at least one director. No age limit for the directors. Director's age limit is not mandatory. There should be at least one director. No, there is, yes. it need not to deliver the financial statement to the register of company, but we know that PLC is mandatory, right? Interim financial statement also should be given. It may a unanimous resolution. Unanimous in the sense all the shareholders should be agree. It may by a unanimous as a resolution of the shareholders dispense with the interest register. If all the shareholders given approval in writing by unanimous agreement, any decision can be taken if such decision may contrary to the article. However, this right subject to the solvency test. Solvency test in the sense whether the company should be able to pay debts in ordinary course of activity, then they become due, as well as the company's asset should be greater than stated capital plus liabilities. Otherwise, you cannot do if the solvency is not passed, right? Public companies can offer shares to the public. These companies can be further classified listed, or we call as a quoted company. This is listed in Colombo Stock Exchange. This is a company which has a permission to admit shares on the official list of Colombo Stock Exchange, or company whose shares by quoted in the stock exchange. Unlisted companies, this is a rare type of shares. Sorry, companies type. This is a cannot publicly traded in the shares in stock exchange. Unlimited company. Sorry, this is the rare type, right? The previous one is not. Unlimited companies. This is a quite rare type of company formation. Shareholders are liable for all the obligations of the company as partners in the partnership. Companies limited by guarantee. In order to form a company limited by guarantee, following documents shall be submitted. An application form. This is to be signed by 2 or more persons. Application form which we need to sign by 2 or more persons. At least there should be a 2 persons. The company is limited by guarantee. Article of association. The consent from each initial director. Consent from initial secretary who is working like to consent, give a consent, working like as the initial secretary of the company. Article of association of a company limited by guarantee. The article of company limited by guarantee specify the object is mandatory, right? Object clause is mandatory for the companies limited by guarantee. The amount of each member undertakes to the company's attack in event of the liquidation. When it comes to liquidation, winding up the each member's liability should be clearly specified. Let's say a person is liable for pay in event of winding up 200,000. Likewise, association not for profit. This is not profit seeking. A charitable nature, which this register is satisfied the association going to be formed as a company limited by guarantee for promoting art, science, chamber of commerce. Likewise, the company intends to utilize profit for its or other income in promoting its object. The profit is reinvested to in order to achieve its profit, right? The articles prohibited for paying dividends to its members. The registrar may give a license to direct the association be registered as a company limited by guarantee, right? Without the addition word is limited. Without adding the limited, they can use ABC associates, not associates. Without they can adding limited, they can use if the license is granted by the registrar, right? After registration, the association may enjoy all the privileges and subject to all the obligations of a limited company. A license granted may anytime may revoke. It means cancelled by registrar if the company fails to comply with the section. Offshore companies, offshore Akwerala Samaga means Sinhala we call as Akwerala. Verale Nobbe, Akwerala Samaga, which is registered in Sri Lanka but doing business activities in abroad. An offshore company is the company that is registered as an offshore company in the Sri Lanka but does the business activities in abroad. Any company, whether it is incorporated in Sri Lanka or in abroad, may make an application to the register of companies to be registered as a offshore company. The following documents it submitted: the certified copy of certificate of incorporation, the constitution, it means article of association, memorandum. Likewise, some name is differ. Example, article of association and the instrument constituting the constitution. The list of directors who are managing the company, the names and addresses one or more persons who are resident in the Sri Lanka citizen and authorized to represent the Sri Lanka represent the company. A statement contains the full address of the registered office in the company country in incorporation and the office of Sri Lanka, right? Right. Privileges granted to the offshore company. A certificate of registration is issued to the offshore company under this part 11 of the Companies Act. The company shall exempt to comply with any other provisions of the Companies Act, right? The restriction that applies to the offshore company, then offshore company shall power to carry any business outside in Sri Lanka, but they can't do any business activities within Sri Lanka. Overseas companies, these things are very much easy. That's why I'm going fast. Offshore overseas company means any company or body incorporate outside Sri Lanka doing business activities within the Sri Lanka after the appointment date, had an established business place within the Sri Lanka before appointed date and contribute to the after appointment date. In appointment date in the sense the which date with the Companies Act become to effective, it means the date was 3rd May 2007, right? Registration procedure for the overseas company. Following documents to be submitted to the Register of Companies for the registration: certificate of incorporation, constitution, the directors, list of directors, the name and address one or more person resident in Sri Lanka to authorize, accept the documents on behalf of the company. The statement of containing full address, these things similar as the foreign companies, offshore companies, right? The power hold of land, the registered overseas company is the same power holding land. It was completely incorporated under the Companies Act. This term is not validated. So that is the end of this session. Thank you.